The enemy didn't fear its size. They didn't fear its speed. They didn't even fear its engine. Small, quiet, almost polite. But the moment they fought against the British Hawk, they feared something far more dangerous. Because real power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it teaches, and then it kills. On a cold Welsh morning, a red jet rose into the sky, carrying the secret design that made Britain's smallest fighter unbeatable. How did a tiny trainer jet use one hidden design to defeat fighters 3 times its size? Welcome to Hidden Valor. Before sunrise, RAF Valley looked like a place forgotten by the world. Coal mist rolled across the runway. Only one sound disturbed the silence, the ticking of cooling metal around a small red jet parked under dim orange lights, the British Hawk. To most people, it looked harmless. A trainer, they called it, something young pilots used before flying real aircraft. But inside the RF, the Hawk was spoken of in a different tone. Quiet, serious, and almost reverent. Flight Lieutenant Reeves walked into the hangar with discipline in his stride. A group of new pilots stood waiting, nervous and ignorant of what this little machine would do to them. Reeves placed his hand on the Hawk's wing root. "Look closely," he said, his voice calm. "This shape, this curve, this is why the Hawk wins." The students leaned forward. The leading edge root extension, the LERX, blended into the fuselage with a smooth, elegant slope. Most aircraft had a simple joint. The Hawk had a weapon. The LERX changed everything. When the airflow hit the extension at high angles, it created swirling vortices that clung to the wing, gripping the aircraft like invisible claws. Where other jets shuddered, the Hawk stayed steady. Where bigger, faster fighters lost control, the Hawk danced. Reeves tapped the metal softly. "The Hawk isn't a trainer. It is a blade disguised as a pencil." Reeves climbed the ladder and settled into the cockpit. The jet climbed into the Welsh sky with a gracie no textbook could explain. Today, one of his students, Pilot Officer Mason, would learn why the Hawk had a reputation whispered across NATO. Mason spotted Reeves in the distance. "Sir, visual contact." Before he finished the sentence, Reeves rolled sharply left and vanished into a narrow valley. Mason dove to pursue, pushing his jet downward. He thought he had the advantage, but Reeves chuckled quietly. "He's chasing the paint, not the pilot." Reeves pulled the Hawk upward, clipped a ridge by inches, and dropped behind Mason so fast, the younger pilot never saw the transition. That was the secret. The LERX let the Hawk pivot in midair. Reeves spoke calmly. "Checks X." Mason looked back and froze. Reeves was behind him. "Akil!" Mason tried to break the lock, but the Hawk wasn't a normal aircraft. Every time he turned, Reeves stayed glued to him. It wasn't speed. It was that hidden design holding the aircraft steady where physics should have failed. By noon, the weather cleared, and the real test began. NATO had sent visitors. 3 aircraft circled the coastline. A Dutch F-16, a Hermann Alpha-head, and an American T-38 Talon. They came with curiosity and a touch of arrogance. The American pilot, Captain Warren, grinned at Reeves on the tarmac. "So, this is the legendary British Mosquito." Reeves just nodded. "You will see soon enough." Minutes later, the match began over the open sea. The F-16 dove first, blasting ahead with raw engine power. Reeves ignored it. He banked left and rose at an angle no one expected. The American frowned. "That is too tight." Before he could finish, the Hawk rolled beneath him and climbed through the pocket of air behind his tail, a move considered impossible for a jet its size. But Reeves had the LERX advantage. The German Alpha jet moved next, trying a head-and pass. Reeves dipped the nose and climbed behind him in the same breath. The German pilot swore overcomes. He was under us. Now he is behind us. "How?" The T-38 Talon came in fast, using superior speed. Rebus waited, then pulled the Hawk into an impossible high-alpha move. The Talon, overshot by such a margin, the American pilot yelped. "Jesus, where is he?" Behind him, the British controller radioed in. "Hawk 1, You are weapons hot on 3 aircraft. Reeves replied quietly. Kill, kill, kill. A full sweep. The Americans were breathless. How did a trainer just break 3 of us? Reeves finally answered. It isn't what is in it. It is what it does for the pilot. Evening settled over RF Valley. The visiting pilots climbed out of their aircraft, humbled. Captain Warren walked toward Reeves and extended his hand. That little jet of yours, he said quietly, flies like it knows what you are going to do before you do it. Reeves shook his hand. It is a teacher. It shows you your limits. Then it shows you theirs. One by one, the visitors left, changed by what they had seen. The truth was simple. The Hawk created pilots who knew how to think, how to feel, how to read the sky like a second language. As Reeves stepped outside, another Hawk took off for night training. He whispered the truth. Every RAF pilot eventually learned it was never just a trainer. It was the first enemy you had to defeat, so you would never lose to the real ones. If you enjoyed this story of hidden valor, hit that subscribe button. We bring you the untold legends of aviation history. Thanks for watching.